Sort of in honor of Willie Mays, we none of us saw him play live or anything like that, but it struck me is that, the image of Willie Mays is so great and stuff. If you could go back in time, back in history, to see anyone at any specific time, if you got someone you'd like to see, someplace you'd like to be?
Hank Aaron, Negro Leagues, because of the opportunity to actually play baseball without getting any racist taunts or any threats, enjoying just the game and seeing him in an opportunity to enjoy baseball. I think in that environment, I think a lot of stuff gets lost in the hatred that these players had to deal with when actually going over to Major League Baseball at that time. We've gotten through that to a certain extent, but what's so great about it is that these are people that had a chance to see their star play and know they deserve to be in the major leagues, eventually end up there and get those records now.
And it's really, I think, a cultural phenomenon, the whole that league existing.
In a sense that we were not able to see these great players perform at this level.
Well, they weren't seeing it in the big picture.
Yes.
We like it. And there was a certain vibe, I think, to the Negro Leagues that back then appealed to people. To your point, saying they like to go someplace where they felt comfortable.
Everybody hates change until it works.
Yeah.
So that's the way it kind of goes. Sometimes you got to force it and it works. And kind of like, I guess we came out on the right side of it. But, just to see that environment and to be a part of it is something that obviously my generation didn't get a chance to see. A lot of people say, what could have happened? There were a lot more talented players that never got that opportunity. You know what I mean? So that's the other end of it too. But I guess that would be for me.
Who would you say? Where would you go?
Sugar Ray Robinson, either against one of the LaMotta fights or one of the Basilio fights. I mean, you don't have Muhammad Ali. You don't have Mike Tyson. You don't have Sugar Ray Leonard. You don't have, those boxers that he changed the way the fight game went from that point forward. Boxing splits in two from when Sugar Ray Robinson exists. And those old film videos that you can watch from the garden, right? Like, they don't do the speed. There's no way the speed of that man and the power of that man, knockout power in both hands, is done justice. So I would, if one place I could go back, one of those fights between LaMotta, Basilio with Sugar Ray Robinson.
I bet he's got an outfit that fits that time too.
Oh yeah, I got a yellow suit. I nail it. I would nail it.
Is this because you are in fact a boxer?
Well, in the loosest sense of definition, but no, I look at it this way. Sport changes, it evolves. Of the four major sports, they all evolve pretty quickly, baseball being the one that's the slowest, but you see every 5 to 10 years, wow, they're much faster. Wow, they're much bigger. Boxing doesn't tend to do that. There are still guys that fight today in a very traditional 1950s, 1960s way. Sugar Ray Robinson turned everything upside down on its head, and I want to see what it was like, that old school traditional style versus what he was bringing to the table, totally brand new.
Well, how things changed, to your point. In the 50s, boxing, horse racing, and baseball were the big three.
Sure. Yeah, but two of them were run by the mob, so we all saw which one survived, right?
Yeah. And look at where we are right now with the NBA, the NFL, and what do you want to throw in there? Hockey, baseball, whichever other sport it is. Soccer, maybe, for those that are around the world. People think they're controlled.
Yeah, no, you're not kidding.
Depending on where they come out on the bets.
Mine is very provincial, and it's because I almost made it. I would have liked to have seen Ted Williams, and maybe to pick a time that I'd like to have seen his last game, and one that he played at Fenway Park. I just missed Ted. I went to my first baseball game in 1965. It was 5 years after he retired, and I had an interest in the game just 2 years after he retired. So I totally missed him, and I said, man, to be that close and about a 10-year-old, I said, I really would have liked to have enjoyed seeing Ted Williams play.
Yeah, it's rough. Nowadays you can have to go back and see video of it. So, for example, you mentioned Willie Mays, the catch. I still can. You practice that watching it on, This Week in Baseball, and you're like, how the hell did he catch that ball?
But even with that clip, the clip doesn't do it justice. You don't get the speed. You don't get the overall difficulty, right? We take for granted that every great athletic thing that is happening now is in 10 different angles until the end of time in high definition. You can fully appreciate the feeling of Josh Allen destroying a man that's 100 pounds heavier than him, that's out there to, take his head off. We don't get that with everyone we're talking about here.
Good stuff.